My last book is called A Long Walk to Water, and it's by Linda Sue Park, and it's 120 pages. This book has two storylines. One is about a boy named Salva, taking place starting in 1985 until the present, and the other is about a girl named Naya, taking place in 2008. Salva is a boy who lived in a Dinka family, which had a bit more money than most of the rest of the Dinka people. Therefore, Salva was able to go to school. One day, when he was in school, all of a sudden he heard gunshots. The teacher immediately told the students to run into the bush. That was the last day he had seen his family for at least 10 years. Salva walked for a while until he met a group of people who were also running from the attack. Unfortunately, the group left him the next morning before he was awake. So Salva walked and walked. Eventually, he found another group to go with, and he was determined not to fall behind. One day, when he was walking, he found another group of people when he was walking with the current group. And he found his uncle, who was walking with the other group, and he had a gun. One day, Salva and some others made it to a refugee camp, which eventually lost funding, and the people in it were told to leave in a quite scary manner. Once he arrived at the new refugee camp in a different country, he waited there for a long time until one day he received information that he could go to the United States. When he got there, he went to school and learned more English. At this time, he was much older than he was at the start of all this. Salva decided to put together a foundation after going to school and put in wells in Sudan. This is when the other story comes in. One day, a girl named Naya was walking to a lake like she did every other day and to bring water back for her family. And today was just an ordinary day. The only difference was she had stepped in a thorn whilst walking. If she went fast, she could make it to the lake and back before midday. This she did, and when she got home, she brought her family water. She had done this for years, twice a day, and would have continued to do this if a certain man named Salva hadn't popped in with the jeep with some other people who knew how to make a well. So Salva and his men found a perfect spot and dug a hole until water was shooting out of the ground. This was dirty water, though, and they had to wait for hours to be able to drink the water. Eventually, the well was done, and Naya and the rest of the Nuer tribe now had water. The Dinka tribe and the Nuer tribe had always been enemies for hundreds of years, and now a Dinka man was helping a Nuer tribe by building a well. There were really two main characters, Salva and Naya, but the uncle who gets shot and a friend who got eaten by a lion are important while they're alive. My favorite is Salva. The setting mostly takes place in southern Sudan, then a refugee camp in Ethiopia and Kenya. Then finally the US. The girls' village is dry and dusty with water being long ways off. The refugee camps are horrid and with few nice things except for the friendships of all the lost boys. A Long Walk to Water is about a survival independence overcoming adversity in the form of war and poor living conditions, importance of family and friends, and even strangers.